actors can hear you right now. Stephanie, I am the special guest author coordinator for FanX, so it is my delight to bring you to this panel and the authors that you see around the show. So without any further ado, please welcome Chris Sabat, Chris Wehkamp, and Aleks.
I was expecting more people. Oh, there each of us to talk to.
Before we get into talking about the show, I already warned Chris Sabat that I know one of his friends from high school, and he gave me some questions to ask that nobody else really knows that much about.
Great. These are my favorite questions, I'm already sure.
So, first off, let's talk about your habit of breaking into your friends' houses and recording their voicemail messages.
I can neither confirm nor deny that that ever happened, but that is true. And look, I didn't know it was his dad's business line as well, so he may not have been allowed to talk to me for a little while. So he was grounded from me for a little bit. But as a kid, we didn't have the internet, so we had to find things to do, like breaking into people's houses and changing their answering machine messages.
What did the message say?
Only Robert has a photographic memory, like he has a complete historical memory of everything, and he would have to tell you that because I don't remember.
That's just the story.
Yeah.
He also told me you pulled a really elaborate prank on Troy Baker.
Oh gosh, that's a long one. So it was Troy Baker's birthday, and I'm gonna try to take it in the most condensed way possible. It was his birthday, and Travis Willingham, a mutual friend of his, you probably know him from Critical Role. He was also doing other anime and stuff like that. We set up this prank for him where he went to go in for a recording session in a place called PCB. It's like a really popular, huge studio in California. And during the session, he had the clients came in, and they were like these Eastern European clients. And they were extremely rude to him the whole time. They were hired to be extremely rude to him the whole time. And then at some point during the session, the client starts like arguing with one another or something. He's just sort of sitting there in the recording room, not sure what's going on. And he's with other people because it was a vocab session. So that's how we could have other people in the room with him. And at some point, somebody comes in and throws a flashbang into the room, and it felt like ATF officers had come in, and they're like, "Come with us!" And they banged everybody's heads, and they threw them in the back of a van.
How much did this prank cost?
It was expensive. It is expensive. SAG rates alone were pretty high. And yeah, they just drove him around in circles, waiting for the cards bouncing around, trying to go over as many speed bumps as humanly possible. And then they took him out of the back of the car. I can't remember exactly what he said, but they started asking him questions like, "Do you know why you're here?" He's like, "I do not know why I'm here at all." "Because it's your birthday," and he pulls it open, and we're all standing there.
Aleks, you guys ever pulled elaborate pranks on anybody?
No human being has ever pulled a prank that elaborate. That is epic. That is completely epic.
I love pranking people. It is so fun.
Have you guys ever pranked anybody in the recording booth outside of that?
I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind. I think we in the old days we used to leave bombs for people. Those were fun.
He's not talking about cars.
Not a flashbang, but
We could see for the recording booth.
yeah, right.
It's funny when they turned on the light switch and the whole building blew up.
Aleks, you just put out the Demon Slayer movie.
Yeah, I did all that.
Really cool suit that you wore to the premiere. If you were going to do something like that for a solo level thing, what details did you work into?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. feels like it needs to be even more elaborate, which I kind of like drove myself into a corner. You know, I was telling a lot of people about this, is that the downside about having a really cool outfit is that you put all of this time, effort, money into making it, and then you only wear it for one day. Not even one day, you wear it for like 2 hours. So you do it at the premiere and then you go home and then you put it up. You're like, what am I gonna do with this now? You can't really wear this to Walmart.
Conventions, bro.
No, it's too hard. Somebody did tell me to get like if I ever get like an extra room, I should put all my suits from premieres up. Like the Iron Man display. All the suits. That's a really good idea. I would love to have like 4 really nice suits on the left and then on the right side, just like the thong.
In a really small glass case. There's never like an
It says break in the merchandise.
It's a tiny case though. It would be if there's ever like an anime hard rock cafe or something like that. That would look really cool. Okay.
From the business plan, what would you put in an anime cafe?
I think an anime cafe has to have cats for me.
People dressed up as characters.
Well, as much as I would love to keep asking questions, I do see this giant line in front of me. So we'll go ahead and toss to audience questions right now. What's your name and your question?
Have no fear, I am here on vacation to FanX.
Thank you.
So my question would be for Chris.
I have a feeling it might be.
So I just want to say, ever since I started cosplaying as All Might, May of this year, I've been bringing so much joy to anyone who loves my European, who loves All Might, and I love making people smile. So I want to know, for you being All Might, how much did that leave an impression on you of doing All Might, and how much did that mean to you, you know, you bring so much happiness to so many people and helping them out in times of darkness, you know?
It's a huge thing. I usually play villains that people are scared to talk to, so they just come up and they're like, I'd like to work out to Vegeta real hard, and I go, I hate you, and they go, oh, thank you. So this was a big change, but it all might came at like the perfect time in my life. I had daughters and I just recently a dad, and so all that came about around that same time. So I was already feeling this sort of paternal vibe anyway, and I also kind of felt like I've been just doing this for so darn long. It kind of felt like I was All Might in some ways. Like I was really good at it, and now I can like scream for an hour and then I bleed from the mouth and stuff. So it's really cool to like. My Hero Academia has been a completely different type of fandom than the shows I normally like resonate with, and I just love the vast amount of people and the cool people I meet. People bring their heavy stories, but I feel like I'm happy to be here to absorb them, right? And it's been a huge honor, actually. Thank you. And I would wish I could wear an All Might outfit as confidently as you do, but I'm just going to leave them on the wall at Alex's house.
It'll be a thong and then the All Might.
You'd be fantastic if you just came out in your All Might cosplay.
Yeah, I don't know if I would feel as good about that decision. I don't know why. I probably would feel cool, but I don't know. I was in a mocap suit once, and I'm not going to go there again. So.
Well, you're fantastic.
Thank you.
So go beyond plus ultra.
Hi guys. We're waiting for season 3 of Soul Element, right? So I hope you don't mind one more My Hero question. My understanding is you guys have probably either started recording or in the midst of recording the latest season of My Hero. And I just want to ask, Chris, All Might's got this crazy, I don't know what's going to happen moment. I was hoping you could tell us like what your thoughts, what you're going through with this character. Like you said, it's bringing so much joy, so many other people, so much joy. And now like there's this big climactic thing that's happening. Can you talk to us about that?
All I can tell you now is that I am so happy that All Might made it to what I I guess is my understanding, is the final season of the show. I don't want to be misquoted on that, but if they're going to break it up into 3 seasons and they can do a bunch of filler, which I'd be fine with. I don't know if they've actually said it's the final season or not. I'm just impressed that All Might made it as far as he did, because I was sure every season this is going to be the season that All Might dies. This is going to be the one where he dies. I mean, and you know, fine, he dies in the first episode. Wait, am I gonna tell him this one? That's a spoiler. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen it yet. No one's seen it because we haven't seen the materials for it yet. But I'm super stoked. Like, he definitely left. He was leaving everyone hanging at the end of that one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. If anyone else has envelopes full of money, you're welcome to bring it up. Thank you for your tributes.
I wanted to say that you three, I love you guys so much. You guys inspired me a lot and have done a lot for me when I was going through a lot. I do have a question for Aleks Lee specifically, because I really look up to you, so wakey, chicken bakey. If you had a shadow army like Jingloo, but instead of, Egress or Tusk, it could only be made of really useless things that are from your daily life. What would your army be? So, for example, it could be like 10,000 socks that will automatically.
Are you talking about inanimate objects?
Exactly, that is exactly what I'm talking about. So it could be like 10,000 pairs of socks that would immediately disappear once put in the laundry or a broken phone charger.
You know, I've had this question before where people are like, what dead celebrity would you arise? I'm like, I don't know. Michael Jackson? George Washington? I don't know. But inanimate objects, I don't know. Can it be like money that once you spend it doesn't come back to your wallet? It's so useless. I would hate that. I don't know. I feel like that already happens to me with my regular socks. I go back and there's only one of them, and I'm like, oh, that's the last survivor right there. So, do you have any ideas? Do you have any other fun inanimate objects that I could use around the house?
No.
How do you feel when I ask you that? Come up here, you ask what inanimate objects are useless and you don't want it. And I'm like, I don't know. A spoon that bends every time you hold it. So at least you can be like one of those magicians. You know the guys that get in front of you, rub on a spoon? Oh, okay. Thanks. I think that's my final answer.
Awesome, thank you. May I shake your hand? Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to bring that up. Break the rules.
Whose shadow army members would you want to hang out with?
Which one?
Yeah.
George Washington would be. I would ask him about his wooden teeth.
Ginu's shadow.
Oh, Ginu!
The history, that's not an anime.
I think it would be cool to hang out with Iron. It would be fun. I feel like I would just take him to like public places and just see if he could just smash things up. And then I would leave, because like, how can they trace it back to him?
The Chris's, which one would you want to hang out with?
Let's just say a big bear.
No. I would, what's his name? Better or whatever his name is? It's kind of not fair because that means I'm just hanging out with Jason, who's one of my favorite humans, so that's just an excuse to hang out with him more.
Who's, is that the guy with the sword?
That's the guy that killed you.
Yeah.
Oops.
Him. George Washington. I agree with you.
George Washington is now a member of Ginu's shadow. Witness this happen.
He doesn't talk, he just pulls out a piece of paper and looks at it sometimes.
He's only using for cutting down cherry trees.
Yeah, that's it.
Hi, my name is Celine, and I have a question for Aleks Lee. I I know that you improvise some of your lines. I just don't know which ones are your favorite lines and where did that inspiration come from for those lines?
That's tough because for the show, it's actually the first show anime that I've ever worked on where I've been given as much creative freedom, and that's all thanks to our director, Caitlin Glass. This is like one of the shows where I've messed with the lines the most, and there's some funny ones, but there was a particular one where, you know, there's obviously that video I made with the wakey wakey. And we were talking about it, and how season 2 opens up is that he's like, ooh, he's sleeping, and his sister calls him, and she's like, get up! And so we were like, maybe she should say wakey wakey, man. And it was a joke at first. But then Caitlin was like, you know what? Maybe we should do it. And I'm like, yeah, do it. I'll rewrite the lines around it. Just have her say it, and then we'll figure something out. And so now that's in the show. So Wakey Wakey is in the show officially. But I want to make it so that Wakey Wakey can be in the show in the future. So I will do my best to put it in there.
Please make it eggs and makey.
I had some fans come up to me and they're like, can you put erect in the show? And I'm like, it's going to be hard to fit in there. We'll put some of the funny ones in there in the future. I'm sure Caitlin and I can do it. We can use our brains for it.
Hi. Thank you. Hi, what's your name to your question?
Hello, gentlemen. My name is Austin, and I have a general question for the three of you. If you could have any weapon tailor-made for you personally, not your characters, what would it be? Mine is a glaive, so all yours.
For me personally or the character?
Oh, you personally.
Oh, man. Maybe some sort of like sonic cannon or something like that that causes people a lot of pain. Have you seen those where have you actually watched any videos or something where they can like shoot sonic waves at people and it kind of makes them hurt really bad? Like, even on the other side of like a mattress or a plywood or something like that. It's great. It's awesome. I want one of those.
That's pretty scary.
This can be anything, right? Anything you want. I think I would just like some kind of device that smells like really delicious pastries and then puts people to sleep. I just want it for the airport. I only want it there. I just want to be able to put everybody on the plane to sleep.
This seems like a Tom and Jerry thing.
Yeah.
Like a small finger that comes out and goes like this.
Yeah. That's what I want. I want the Tom and Jerry weapon.
That was a lot less violent than mine. I mean, I want that too.
Have you ever seen those videos of people sitting on airbags? Yes. And then they get launched. I would want an airbag that I could place anywhere. If anybody sits on it, they just get launched. And then you add like a little fart sound effect to it.
Excellent choices, Jim.
I would do that all the time. For myself.
Hi, what's your name and your question?
So I'm Marcy, and one of the things, this is what I want to say, is that I really loved the way that you went on, like, I don't know which media, but it was like Facebook for me, but you went on Facebook and said, well, if you're going to have so much controversy about me saying rise, I can say all the other things. And that was one of my favorite things that you did. But I really love how you do rise. It's exactly how I imagined it from the webtoon. The question is, what is your guys' favorite characters in solo leveling? If you've read the manga, you can webtoon, you guys can put one of those ones in too, because I know some of them aren't there yet.
Will I answer this one first? I know you have so many favorites.
Oh, I love all the characters. I'm just really sad that none of the characters matter anymore because Gina came in and nerfed everyone at the end of season 2. It's like, they call this solo leveling for a reason.
You know, we actually ended season 1 with him saying, I won't be solo leveling anymore.
Yeah, right. He comes at the end, he's like, hey guys, what's up? Just stand back. Try not to get your heads bitten off or anything like that.
One of my favorite moments from your character was when Gino showed up at the end, and then they were like, can he do that? And then you said, I wouldn't be surprised at anything now. And then literally the next shot was like a shot of his eyes being like, how is this possible?
Yeah, he was a little surprised.
I love a lot of the characters. I think one of the characters I'm most excited to see is his father. Jumpsuit, just barefoot, walking around. Like, what's that guy doing? I know what he's doing, but I want to see more of it.
Am I ignorant? It is his dad, the one that they were interrogating, right? Like okay. I thought that dude was cool too. I liked him.
Who is that Reiner voice? Oh, that guy. Yeah, that guy. I like him.
Justin Reiner?
Yeah, Justin Reiner voices like the little, the guy who's trying to start the company, get out.
Yes.
That little dude is my favorite. I like him. Yeah.
He's so funny.
He's so funny,
It's
right?
hilarious. He comes in and he's just like kills it.
Yeah, I love that guy.
I like him too. You know, I want to see him in more big, cool armor pieces. Doesn't need, because he never goes in the dungeons.
That's what your name is. Hi.
I'm Keith. I know you went online and said that you coughed up blood after the fight scene with Idris, but I was wondering, for all of you guys, what was your favorite scene to prepare for? Like, how did that go?
So actually, the funny story about that is that usually whenever I do very vocally intensive stuff, I'm really safe about it. So my voice is fine. But that day, I had a convention in Dallas, and that's where the show records. And I flew in from Los Angeles. I was there, and we did that fight scene like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. whatever cartoon starts. 10 a.m. in the morning, and we did it for 2 hours. I was like, the entire 2 hours, and then right after that, I get a call from my agent, and she's like, hey, don't forget about the convention. And so I went to a convention immediately after doing all that screaming, and then it was 8 hours straight of like talking to people over, and they had like, it was a con where they had the panels right in the middle of the con. So there was a bunch of loud speakers and music and all that stuff. And I was talking to everyone, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Right after screaming. And so that's when it started to really hurt me, because then it was 10 hours straight of just yelling. And so that's why the next morning I woke up and I coughed like, oh, what is that?
You should take some Excedrin.
Thank you. Hi, what's your name and your question?
My name is Rhett. I have a question for all of you, but just like how Alex was having a hard time with coughing up blood, has there ever been another time in your acting career where you have put so much passion and soul, or pun intended, gone beyond like the soul of your character, pushing yourself?
Man, that's a deep one. Are you talking about just like putting a lot of energy into the recording process because of how much you like the scene, right? Or how much you like the show, the character, and the moment? I think I respect about a lot of the people in the anime industry is that I feel like everyone does that. Like when you have a moment, you know that it's important, and it's become even more obvious now when there's only like a week or two between the time the show you record it and the time the show comes out, and the time that you like another week before you see someone. It could be the same day that it comes out. When I first started, we would record and then we'd be lucky if we ever saw it. Like it was like we were recording like a year or two in advance whenever you'd see this stuff. So the fact that everyone's able to kind of witness what you do and comment on it immediately, it's a lot.
There were some days when we'd be recording so well, like on a Friday, come out the day after.
Yeah. And there's a responsibility there because you don't want to mess it up. Because I think I'm sure that everyone has had at least one of these lines. All of us have had that one line where you're like, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. And then you hear it later and you're like, that, I should have gotten another take on that. And once that happens once, you never want to do that again.
Unrelated, but on the earlier seasons of Demon Slayer, there were times, because that was my first son handling a big anime role, and obviously he screams a lot. Like the script pages are in caps. You know, like I've never seen that before. But it was very early in my career. I was trying to figure out how to pace myself and how to control my voice. There were so many moments where I would scream so hard that my butt would cramp up. Because when you scream, you're like, and then you're like pushing. You're trying to to push everything out the front side of your body.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, my butt! So that happened a lot in my own life.
Yeah, those LA recording sessions are a lot different.
In Texas, it's the front side.
We stare at each other. Yeah, it's intense.
Can I get a fist bump from Chris?
No, I'm just kidding. You have to be more specific because there's two Chris's up here.
Hi, what's your name and your question?
Hi, my name is Callan, and my question is to our show. We've watched you go through many trials from fighting Ignis to Barca to Beru. What is the one trial in your life that has been meant the most to you afterwards and made you a better person?
Fighting Chris Sabat. We're Uncle Rob. He said, if you want to be a voice actor, you have to get through me first. Bring it on, old man.
If you want to witness that fight, it's in Dragon Ball Superhero, available now on Apple Movies or whatever it is.
There are a lot of, the entertainment industry is very difficult to navigate, and I was solely intent on doing it by myself because, I spent my whole life kind of waiting on other people telling me what to do. You should do this, you should take this class, you should do all these things, and at some point it was just taking too much time. And I was very edgy. I still, I am a little bit edgy now, but I was very edgy, especially when I was 19. And so I was like, I'm not going to be around tomorrow. I need to get everything done now. Who knows if I'll be around next year? Life is so unpredictable, and I never know. I just have to do everything now. And so
You just did an anime monologue, but
So I was like, I gotta do everything as much as I can, and at that point it was just all about leaving everything else behind, all of my doubts and hesitations, and just go for it. And actually, we kind of met super early on in my career, literally day one. So I was going from Florida, which is where I used to live, to Los Angeles, and it was going to be a drive across the country. And then I booked a job at his studio that he owns in Dallas, and so I took a detour. And I went down to Dallas, and as I'm there, we're having a good session. He's not there. The engineer's like, "So where are you coming from, man?" I'm like, "Florida." "What? The state?" "Yeah." "How'd you get here?" "I drove here." "What?" And so he comes back, he's like, "Hey, so Chris Sabat told me to give you $300 extra. I'm like, "Well, I don't need that. What are you talking about? I'm fine." And he's like, "No, but he really insists that you take your $300. So I didn't know why at the time, but I was just like, "All right, if you insist, sure, I'll take it." Nice guy, I guess. And then that night, I was driving, and I got stuck in Midland, Texas, I think it is. And there was only one hotel around. And the room was $300 a night. I don't think you knew that.
Well, the reason I wasn't there, I was sabotaging your car.
Yeah.
It's another one of Chris's pranks.
Yeah. He was outside tweaking with it, snapping the tires.
I know exactly how long this is going to last. Thank you. No, we were really impressed by your enthusiasm and stuff like that. You gotta take care of this. Glad you did. Yeah. Or you said stuck in Midland.
I know. I'm like, I got no hotel room. I would have died on the road. Just broke up.
You missed that audition for Demon Slayer.
Hi, what's your name and your question?
Hi.
There we go.
Thank you. My name is Caitlin, and I'm cosplaying as Anya.
Yeah.
And my question was for Chris Sabat is what was your favorite to do out of Vegeta, Piccolo, and All Might?
Which is my favorite of the three of them? Is that what you're asking?
All right, everybody, take your phone cameras out.
Oh my God.
This board's
Like, to be fair, like picking a favorite character is like picking a favorite child, and you're not allowed to do that. So you can't necessarily do that. But I will say, if you made a list of all the characteristics that these guys had, Vegeta and Piccolo, they're evergreen, right? I've done that forever. Like I've been doing that since I first started. It was like got me into business. So it's not fair really to like put them aside. However, if you stack up all their qualities, the fun thing about All Might is that he gets to be really huge and do really epic stuff, but he also gets to be really calm and do really like sweet stuff, and he gets to be really emotional. And he's definitely a more emotionally available person than either Vegeta or Piccolo are. They just like to fight things real hard.
Piccolo is really emotionally available.
Well, he came from an egg and he has friends.
So, I actually saw this really cool edit of Piccolo recently, and it was like, I'm not on TikTok a lot, so I've been trying to in the last couple of months I have been, and I've been seeing some cool anime edits. And there was this one that I remember. There's a really sweet scene between Chi-Chi and Goku, and they're like talking to each other, and Goku's like, I don't remember me saying that I wanted to marry you, and Chi-Chi was like, well, when you were younger you said that you would, and Goku was like, I thought that meant that I was hungry. I didn't realize that's what marriage was. And it cuts to a shot where the two of them talking to each other is very sweet. You see Piccolo in the background. And then it just cuts into a Piccolo edit. It cuts right into him doing all this cool stuff. And in the comments people were like, Piccolo, man, I was watching that. I need to find it. It's so good. It's so good.
So if I was forced by the cutest person I've ever seen at a convention to give an answer, it would have to be All Might today. Because I'm also sitting right next to somebody who's All Might. I change my mind a lot, so ask me tomorrow, okay?
Can I have a high five from Mario?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. I'm so impressed that she came up here and just asked that question, like in front of everyone. Like some people get really choked up trying to do that. Like that was a difficult thing to do. Way to go.
So my name is Emma, and my question is, do you guys like to play like the more serious characters or like the more like goofy, funny characters?
I mean, both. The answer's got to be both, right? It depends on the character. It depends on the show. But if you're lucky, I think if you've done this for a little bit, you do get a chance, maybe eventually, to try both sides. And I don't know. It's really hard to choose just one. I guess I just want to say both. Can I say both? Is that okay? Yeah, I say both.
No, I agree, because I feel like voice acting is one of those industries where you get very lucky that you can play anybody, and you can look like a green alien or a very buff American man. So it's truly a privilege to get to explore all these different spectrums in terms of the acting. So yeah, both for sure. But some days I do prefer the funny, silly guys, just because you can just go in there and have fun.
I actually think you have a great sense of humor, because Alex, when he's in the booth, he's very serious like that. And I know you joke around sometimes, but like Alex takes his job very seriously. When I worked with him on Superhero, I commented that he was like some sort of anime monk actor or something like that. He was so focused and so dialed in.
It's kind of funny because I work on a show called Donna. If you ever actually saw me working, you would realize that I'm way too serious. So the sessions would go like this. It goes, these nuts? All right, let's take a look at it. These nuts? That was really good. That's literally how every single session goes for me. So it's like, it's supposed to be funny, and I'm just standing there. I've had directors that, after the session, it's very funny. I was working on Demon Slayer, and Lucian directs that show, Lucian College. And he gives me a call after the session, and he's like, hey man, is everything okay at home? What are you talking about? You just seem really down, and it seemed a little concerning. And I'm like, oh no, that's just how I am.
But it's always fun because when he's not in the booth, he's actually one of the goofier people I know. He's super funny. Not most of the time, but sometimes.
Only sometimes. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Can I get a high five from
Aleks. That's now a requirement.
Hi, what's your name and your question?
Hi there. My name's Casey, and so I'm just a huge fan of the original solo leveling one. Like, I've read it probably 3 times before the anime was even announced. Like, huge fan. So I wondered if there were any moments in the manhwa that didn't make it into the anime that you wish were there, you know? Question for all of you.
Yeah, well, Caitlin and I also read through the source material a ton. We read through the manga, we read through the light novels, and sometimes she has a copy that's all in Korean. And so we would like cross-reference how each scene was done. It's a little excessive in like English, Japanese, Korean, and then we would try to find the best way to route things back. There's actually a scene, there's tons of scenes that don't make it into the anime, but we try to do the best job we can within the limitations of the animation for the English dub to bring in as much stuff from those missing scenes as possible in there. There was one scene in particular at the end of season 2 where it was Gogani, who's the chairman of the association, the Hunters Association, and there was a cute moment where Gino's driving, he's stuck in traffic. He's like, oh, traffic. And then the Hunters Association calls everyone. They're like, we have a gate, please come help us. And then Gino's like, I don't have a permit, man, I can't help you guys. And then Gogani's like, dude, who do you think you're talking to? I'm like the CEO, man. Go help us. You don't need a permit. And so they took that scene out, and then we tried our best to like fit it back in there. It's such a goofy scene because Gino's just like, what? I can't help. There's no permit. And he's like, who you talking to? The chairman. The chairman of what? The hunt. Oh, okay. All right. Great. I'll see you there. Tons of stuff like that.
Well, thank you. That's good.
We actually had a really awesome scene with your character, Chris, where he was speaking. Can you tell us about the Japanese?
Oh man, that was all Caitlin too.
Yeah.
Goto goes through a moment where he's speaking Japanese and there's a translator there that's like translating it, and so
we changed it up from how they did because in the Japanese they just spoke the line twice. So if I were to talk like this, the translator would come up and say, if I were to talk like this, so they would repeat the same thing, you know? But then they had you speak Japanese.
They had me speak Japanese, which I've never done in my 15 years of doing this. I've never had to speak Japanese before. So I got, and thank goodness Caitlin knew that because she went overboard like, okay, how are we going to get Wehkamp to do this? And so she really held my hand through the whole thing. And I've had people come up to me since then, like, I didn't know that. That's so cool that the voice actors speak Japanese. I was like, no, that is not the case.
You had like Japanese fans come up to you and try to talk to you in Japanese?
Not yet. Oh man, that's going to be embarrassing when that happens.
That'd be a good prank right there. Just one day when he's showing up to like Crunchyroll, just have everybody speak Japanese.
Because you're so fluent, right, Chris? Right?
Yeah.
By the way, you were great in that, and I am sorry because I actually thought that character was Jason Douglas.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole time, you guys sound kind of similar.
Sure. Yeah.
And someone had to tell me later that it was you. So yeah, I forgot you did that Japanese.
Yeah, it was fun. It was super fun, and I get to tell people when they come up and ask me about it, they're like, can you do the line? I'm like, I'm the king. And then you got your head cut off. Like, yes, I know, I got my head cut off. It was a lot of fun. It's a great show. Love the show.
Hi, what's your name and your question?
I'm Leah, and I just wanted to know, like, Aleks, would you rather play Gino or Mashal?
Oh, okay, so everybody get their phones out so we can start more offline discourse now. They're both kind of the same, but so different because they're both just these overwhelming, powerful guys with like very introverted personalities. And I actually have a really funny story about that because they're both animated by the same animation studio. So in Japan, they're animated by A1 and they're also produced by Aniplex. And actually, when I initially auditioned for Solo Leveling, I had no idea that I was auditioning for Solo Leveling. I didn't know it was under a code name. It was too secretive at the time. And so they just gave me a general audition. And then I just did like, do a wimpy voice. Okay. Do a cool guy voice. Okay. And it was actually like a year before Solo Leveling was airing. And we were there for a panel for Mashal. And it was the folks from Japan. And and we were in the green room getting like wardrobe done before we go on stage at Anime Expo. And he's just making small talk, the producer, and he's like, hey, so like, what other shows do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm in Demon Slayer, I'm in Tokyo Revengers, I'm in, what do you think? And he's like, oh, and Solo Leveling, right? I'm like, no, not that one. That one hasn't been made yet. He's like, no, you're in Solo Leveling. And I'm like, I don't think so, buddy. I have an audition for that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not me. And he's like, I could have sworn. And then he pulls up his phone and he goes through this list and he shows it to me. And at the top of the list was my name in red next to Gino. And then you were on the list too. And I'm looking at this and there's all these big hitters. I'm like, Chris Sabat, Ian Sinclair, Justin Reiner. I'm like, oh, I get it. You found a fan cast on the internet. Like, these things happen all the time. You probably looked it up and you found a fan cast and you thought, oh, that's the real thing. I'm like, no, that's a fan cast, man. And he's like, no, I got out of a meeting with Crunchyroll and they sent me this. What? No. And then like one of my assistants were there and she was like, maybe they got you confused with another Aleks because the show records in Texas. There's no way that you can be there. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably the case. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure that's you. And the whole time, I was just like, you're joking. No. And he's like, I produced the show, man. And then the funniest thing is that the whole weekend, everybody from Japan would come up to me and like shake my hand and say congratulations. And they would come, like the CEO would come up and be like, congratulations to Solo Leveling. Yeah, you guys are and like at dinner, all the producers and like the salespeople would be like, congratulations to Solo Leveling. I'm like, no, stop it. You guys don't do this to me. And it wasn't for like 4 months until I actually finally got the email that I was in Solo Leveling. And then they sent it to me. I'm like, oh, was it a joke? Okay.
But come on, Aleks, how could they get the wrong Aleks Lee? While we're on the topic, were you ever in One Piece?
All right, we were talking about this yesterday. So he was telling me, he's like, you know what, you should get into One Piece, because that's like a massive show that you haven't done yet. And I'm like, actually, I have done One Piece. And that story is because they mixed me up with somebody else with the same initials as my name. So there's an actor, his name is Alan Lee, very similar to Aleks Lee. And so they called me in, and I got into the session, and they're like, wait a second, you're not Alan. And I'm like, all right, it's okay, we're two Asian guys. I don't think we look that much alike. And then they were like, oh, so we actually don't have anything for you because you're not supposed to be in this show, but because we're paying for your time anyways, can you be that like snail phone? And so, one of the episodes,
Better.
that's the only thing I've done for One Piece. I need to find out what episode it was, but it's whatever episode that Alan Lee was supposed to be in. But the phone goes and there's like, yeah, just go do what the snail's doing. Perfect. And I am in One Piece, and I think that's all I'll ever do for One Piece. I'm happy. And that was like 2 years ago. First time talking about it.
This will be our last question because we are running low on time. So throw in your question.
Hello, my name's Anthony. This is a question for Aleks. If you can choose one character from another anime or cartoon universe to be part of your shadow army, who would it be and why? And then for the Chris's, if you could choose one to go into the shadow army for one of your existing characters that you have played, who would you choose and what asset would they be?
I would go with Yamcha for sure. She's used to dying all the time anyway.
I would get a Cyberman, you know, so he can cling onto Yamcha and explode his Yamcha, and so I would beat him. Not again!
I don't voice George Washington, but I just
thinking about it, I'm like, is there any anime with George? There has to be, right? There has to be a George Washington anime.
You need to write it.
He would just be like a very pretty boy, George Washington, I'm sure.
I'm sure there'll be an anime soon called Hamilton.
But that's pretty anime.
Thank you. give you a question. We're gonna wrap up with another one from the Robert Files. He mentioned that your former high school is students want to have a statue of you. So for all of you, if you were to be made into a statue, what pose would you want it to be, and what characters would you want it to be?
Okay, to clarify, my high school contacted me and they said, we want to put a statue of you. I think, but it was the type of, when they would come, someone comes up and says you, but they actually mean Vegeta or something like that. But they wanted to put some dedication in the library to me, and I said, guys, I am super honored. I think that's really cool, but we're right across the street from NASA, and like all the astronauts went to school here, and so many famous people went here.
They're not Vegeta.
I know. But if I had to be, I would hope they'd make the statue of Yami from Black Clover. And I hope he would be sitting on the toilet. So.
That's gonna be like, it should be you, but in the Yamcha pose.
Aleks and Chris, what statue?
I would just love it to be in the principal. I spent all my time in the principal's office, so it's constantly in trouble. So I would love to have some kind of statue of me in there on the wall. Maybe just in a sleeping bag. I think that'd be cool.
Were you really in trouble?
Constantly.
What was it? Were you just bored?
I just didn't have an outlet yet, and I hadn't found theater.